Do you party? Do you party, he asked, on the street where we met? Oh, I said, realization dawning as his attractive points plummeted. No, I don't do drugs. Anymore. I threw in the anymore part as sort of a been there, done that type thing, so he wouldn't think I was just being puritanical or some shit. What's wrong with you, he joked, while looking at me with those beautiful Greek eyes that said so much in as little as a raised eyebrow. Well, do you mind if I do? It was then I should have said, no thanks, I'll see you later. But at that moment, I was standing inches away from kissing his luscious full lips. The moment lingered. So what are we standing here for, he said, with a wry smile. Well, I wasn't going to let Adonis sway me into doing any Tina, assuming he had some and that his drug of choice was crystal meth. But it was late, and we were horny, and if the guy needed to do a bump or whatever, that was his business. Or so I thought. His business became my business shortly thereafter as we lay naked on my bed, and he pulled out his crack pipe. Oh, Christ, I thought. He's that kind of partier. I excused myself to the kitchen to get some water, code word for hide my valuables and reevaluate my game plan. Well, it wasn't like I hadn't had sex with drug users before. Shocking, right? But the last time was years ago in a black-painted plywood cubicle of a private men's spa. The whole thing was distasteful. I just blocked it all out. This Adonis Greek boy torching away over my 400 thread count sheets brought it all back to me that night at the Hollywood spa where I'd hammered away at yet another flaccid muscle boy. This one taking phone calls while I was inside him. Girl, I told you I'm out. He'd said to one such phone call to a friend in another cubicle. Score us another, baggie, will you? Then turning to me, he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, Brandon, or whatever your name is, could you tell me what room we're in? So distasteful. Anyway, returning to my bedroom with a bottle of Pellegrino, I had to admit that drugs or no drugs, this Greek boy was beautiful, lying there all naked and tall and swarthy. A former model, aren't they all? Sprawled out, so come hither-like, and saying, give me some of that. And he didn't mean the water. It was therefore no surprise to find myself inside him 10 minutes later and having a Hollywood spa flashback while he distractedly played with his iPhone, surfing the 3G network for some more downloadable Madonna. Ugh. Just for spite, I slammed him against the headboard a few times. It didn't seem to make any difference. Again, not so pretty. Another 10 minutes and I'd lost my hard-on. Out of boredom, his hard-on had made a cameo at the very beginning and then gotten stage fright after he'd fired up his crack pipe for the second or third time. The whole scene was beyond putrid. Come on, Dex. I gave up and rolled over to take a nap. Not a heavy sleep, mind you, because you just don't leave a drug user unattended in your home. But enough of a nap to let him know that the playground had closed for the night. An hour later, he'd moved on to downloading Kylie Minogue and stood fiddling with his iPhone, trying to change the settings to get better speaker quality. I should get your number, I said, thinking, and your name in case I have to call the police. He got the hint and started putting on his clothes. Mercifully, he left soon thereafter. When he'd gone, I vowed never to invite drugs or drug users into my sex life again. I guess somewhere in my subconscious, I wanted him to think that I would be enough, that I would take him home and get him all worked up, and then he wouldn't need his drugs. It had happened before, but not this time. This time, instead of feeling like my sexy could substitute his sustenance for substance, I felt like a friend along for moral support, aka codependent. The whole thing makes me wonder, after all I've been through with drugs and drug users in my life, why am I even considering bringing them into my life again? For what? So I can feel disgusted with myself and have some lame sex that didn't even get me off and remind me how lonely and unattractive I feel? And then, when things became uncomfortable, why did I need to play the nice guy and drag out my misery instead of telling the guy to get the fuck out? So, Dating Bradford wants to know, when finding yourself feeling frisky and foolhardy, what do you say when they ask, do you party?